Pesto, the word derives from using a mortar and pestle, and basically it's used to extract the oils and to actually create the pesto. Now, nowadays we use food processors, but this is what they've used for thousands of years. In America, we're traditionally familiar with the Pesto Genovese, the classic pesto that we know, which is normally made with basil, pine nuts, garlic, and olive oil. It's a great pesto. But today we're talking about something that's not typical, which is a Sicilian pesto, particularly of the region of Trapani in Sicily. So it's a Pesto Trapanese. Pesto Trapanese has some components that are particularly Sicilian, which you have the Arabic influence of fennel, the almonds. So instead of pine nuts, we're using almonds and a touch of peeled tomato. So it has a flecks of tomato, fresh basil, fennel fronds, garlic, Sicilian sea salt, and of course, Sicilian olive oil. Sicilian olive oil, especially from the area of Trapani, happens to be of a nocellara variety. Nocellara is an olive that has a spicy aftertaste to the back of the throat. So it's herbaceous and also peppery to the back of the throat, which creates a particular character of this dish. Now, pestos are by definition a very simple sauce, normally made in Sicily for farmhouse cooking, because they were able to make a cold sauce and not have to be concerned with cooking it while they were picking the harvest of the fruit and the vegetables of the season, like whether it be wheat or olives or grape. And they will be able to make a quick pesto, boil the pasta, toss it together, and serve. The pesto in itself can be used for a lot of things. It can be used to be spread on bread that's grilled with olive oil, country bread, grilling of fish fillets. Here at Tavola restaurant, we actually make it in a pizza form too. Most everyone who's tried this has fallen in love with this dish like my family has and all the people from my background have. What's recommended is to first start with the sea salt at the bottom of the mortar. The reason being is the coarseness of the salt will actually give us some traction to actually extrapolate the oils. We choose the center of the fronds of the fennel, which are more tender and more herbaceous. So I like to use a scissor. It kind of like just makes it a lot easier. You want to cut it in smaller pieces so the pestle process isn't as labor intensive. Beautiful fresh basil. Okay, so now in America we use less garlic. In Sicily we use more. So in this case, one garlic clove would be enough for the preparation for maybe 4 or 5 different plates of pasta. So one garlic clove. In this particular pesto, what's different about it too is fresh Sicilian anchovies that are marinated in olive oil and sea salt. And we're ready to start smashing the actual pesto. Well, I find that the food processor macerates the herb, whereas this actually kind of like squeezes the oils out. It's a matter of texture really, but I do believe it does make a difference. So you have some almond, the herbs start to get wet, they kind of grab the almonds and they don't slosh around as much. Again, extrapolating the oils as you smash and turn, and you get the hand of it after a while. And there's already you could see it's starting to look like a pesto. And it's ready for the olive oil. The olive oil basically will just, again, it's to touch and to how much you want to use. I wouldn't make it too wet. So now we're folding the pomodorini, the small Italian country tomatoes. After the pomodorini are blanched, we simply pull the skins off. Usually this is best done with your fingers. Some things are just best done that way. And we put the tomato directly in with the pesto so that the tomato starts to marinate, picking up the flavors of these smashed herbs. Now we have, as you can see, it's turning into a red pesto. So you have the herbs folding into the tomato. And it's okay to let it sit, at least 10 minutes. If it sits even for a few hours, that's okay too. Here we have the Pesto Trapanese. It has a lot of versatility. Here we have it in its classical form with fresh pasta, done like it was made in Italy for hundreds of years. And our different variations of this classical summer sauce, salsa cruda, salsa verde. Ciao.